got a question for y'all. So listen, there has only been 45 school shootings. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 45 school shootings in the year of 2024. There has been over 11,000 shootings. Okay, now, when you go look up the amount of assault rifles that have been used versus handguns, it's not even close, because the premise that everybody that want to talk about assault rifles want to use, they talk about school shootings. Now, if there's only been 45 school shootings, you have to ask yourself, were all 45 use assault rifles? The answer is no. So that even takes the percentage down more. Make it make sense. So everyone want to talk about school shootings, and the majority of them didn't even use assault rifles. Go do your research. Now, 45 school shootings, 11,000 shootings. I'm talking about actual people homicides. 11,600 if I fact check myself. So with that being said, are assault rifles actually the issue? Y'all say people don't need assault rifles. Yes, you do, because assault rifles prevent government tyranny. When you go look at how indigenous people, how people took over indigenous people in the past, is because we had our hands, we had knives, we had spears. Guess what they had? Pew, pew, pew. So guess what? We didn't even try to come up against the people with the guns. That's how they took over us, because they had more power. Now, when you go do your research on preventing government tyranny. There's a reason that we have a Second Amendment right to protect ourselves, to prevent government tyranny. Now, when the last person that took up firearms, from my understanding, and I'm talking about weapons, was Hitler, from my understanding. Because what it is that they start off with assault rifles. Then you have to have a national registry, because then that lets you know where all the guns are. So then if they decided to step in, then they would go confiscate your guns, because they know where all the guns are. So that person has a gun. That person has a gun. That person has this specific type of gun. Well, you bought this specific type of gun. Let me have that. Let me do a buyback, etc., etc., etc. My point is, assault rifles, weapons, are not the issue, because the majority of people who are shot, the majority of people that experience a homicide are done with handguns, not assault rifles. Go do your research. So for all the people that say we don't need assault rifles, yes, we do. It's to prevent government tyranny and to protect your abode. Do you understand what I'm saying? To protect your home, to protect your castle. Hello. So again, I disagree with you. Those are the facts. School shootings are not an issue. There's only been 45. And out of those 45, the majority of them did not use assault rifles. So what are we talking about when y'all say we don't need, that assault rifles need to be banned? No, they do not. Because assault rifles have never killed nobody. It was the person carrying the assault rifle that committed the act. If I take my AR-15 and there's not a bullet in it, and I pull the trigger, nothing is going to transpire. Nothing is going to happen. Assault rifles are not the issue. I have assault rifles, and I have never, ever heard one go off without me physically pulling the trigger. Never. So assault rifles are not our issues. There are plenty of people that have assault rifles that have never even shot them. There are plenty of people that have pistols, handguns, that have never shot them, except for inside of the shooting range. And guess what? Nobody got hurt. Because responsible people had those guns in their possessions. In most of the school shootings, they got their gun is registered in their parents' names for the most part. So what are we talking about? You people don't know what you're talking about. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about if your conclusion is that we don't need assault rifles and that assault rifles are an issue. Hello. Let's say something goes wrong in the world and you have to go hunt for your food. I'm telling you right now, a handgun can work. But if you shooting hogs, let me tell you something. If you ever been to the country shooting some hogs, and a hog is coming towards you and you miss, I'm just letting you know, you're going to have some issues and some problems. And you might not want to use a handgun. Okay? So again, we need our assault rifles. Sorry. I love mine. Yeah. Well, I thank God I live in Texas. Because one thing about Texas, we can become our own country and we don't bow down to nobody. You seen how Greg Abbott been acting with at the border, and they get fighting the federal government. Shout out to Greg Abbott. So I admonish y'all to go do y'all research on school shootings. There's only been 45. And every time we talk about the Kamala Harris and the talking point of her lying about taking up our guns, they say, well, we don't need assault rifles. Well, assault rifles are not the issues. If you want to be technical, according to statistics and the stats, it will show you that handguns would be the choice of weapon to commit crimes and to shoot people, if you're going to be technical. But even that's not the issue. The gun is not the issue. It is the individual, my people. Comment. Give me your thoughts.